What's up, everybody? Welcome back. We've got a lot of updates to talk about on all of the cars. So let's start with the four-door. The four-door Skyline, about almost a month ago, we loaded it up, sent it down to Gemsport downstate, a couple hundred miles away, to wrap up the last couple pieces of the wiring and do the first start and dyno tune. So I talked to Jake, the owner over there, earlier today, and they should be getting everything wrapped up in the next couple days, and then she'll be hitting the rollers. I hope to go down there for the power poles and the street tuning. We'll see if my work schedule allows it. Depends on what days they do that, but the car will be back pretty soon, and I'm so excited for it. So excited to get that thing out on the road. Now let's talk about the Stagia. So I've had the Stagia for about 3.5 weeks now, and this car is awesome. And first I want to address a couple of questions that I get asked a lot with this car. Number one, people ask if I'm going to do the R34 front end on it. The answer is no. I love the front end on these early Stagias, these Zenkis. I think they look amazing. The R34 front ends, they look really good, but it's not really me. I don't really like making the car look like something it's not, but I am gonna keep the body pretty much as it is. The other thing I get asked a lot is, am I going to manual swap this car? And the short answer is, I don't think so. If it was my only JDM car, then yes, absolutely this thing would get manual swapped, but it's kind of nice just having a cruiser. You know, I've got the Skylines if I want to go have some fun. The Stagia is just a really nice cruising car. And so my plans right now for it are to put some coilovers on it, put some new wheels on it, you know, slam it down, make it look really good. And I do want to do a catback exhaust on it. So far, all I've done, I changed the side winkers to the Nismo smoked side winkers. Sorry, the car's a little dirty. It was raining the other day when we were out driving, but I think that just flows really well, better than the amber. And then the front turn signals, I did order the Freeway Dolphin smoked LED, so they'll blend in really nicely in there. But visually, that's all I've done so far. I have test fit a couple different sets of wheels, just trying to figure out size and offset and all that. So I will be getting some new wheels for it, but first I need to finish this thing. So I'm gonna rock the monster truck stance and the 16-inch wheels for the moment. I did have some spare parts laying around from the Skylines. So I did have this HKS radiator cap laying around, HKS oil cap laying around, and the racing suction intake. So it's not just the filter, but also the aluminum intake all the way down to the turbo. So I did put those on, and it's still really quiet, but it does make some suction noises when the turbo starts to spool up, but still really quiet. So we'll get an exhaust on it. All of that said, this car has been a lot of fun. I love this thing, and it's kind of interesting. The people that actually know what it is just like go nuts over it, but most people don't really know what it is. You know, from the side and the back, you know, angle views, it kind of has like 90s Volvo wagon vibes going on. You know, it's pretty understated, but once it's slammed down on some nice wheels and makes a little bit more noise, I think it'll command a little bit more attention. But yeah, this thing has been a lot of fun. I love it. My wife drove it, and that was her first time driving a JDM. She has not learned how to drive a manual, and the Skylines are not good cars to teach her on, so, nor the Cobra. So anyway, she was really excited to drive this thing, and so it's cool to be able to kind of share the JDM love with my wife. So that brings us to the two-door, to Accio, my first Skyline love, well, that I've owned. But we've been making a lot of progress on that. So let's take a look at it.
When in doubt, use a bolt head for an Allen.
Classing it up in here. Putting the PRP head drain, oil drain for the back of the head, because RBs like to not drain oil from the back of the head. So we're gonna fix that. It's pretty, you won't see it though, unfortunately.
Well, this beautiful color fitting.
Yeah, well, there will be plenty more of those.
Yeah.
And plenty more of the PRP color elsewhere too, but. Yeah, putting this thing back together today.
Yep.
Got the Stag wagon. Tyler's getting his car back up and going. Got the Alpina B7 out there. Awesome ride. It's beautiful out too, which is nice. We were due for some warmth. Of course. Why would it be there when you need it?
This is the shot.
We were wondering what it would look like with HKS strut tower ends. So we did a little mock-up. What do you think?
Reminds me, I had 20 hoses that just hang out in there.
Just dangling.
Just dangling. Just dirt dangling.
So this car had the Blitz intercooler, which we're getting rid of and putting on. Brand new Greddy core. Of course, we'll have to change all of the piping, but that's all right. It's a good core, and it will give us most of the pieces we need. But we just realized that this thing's got some Alpha 2 horns, whatever those are.
Real old man swag is when you blow your back out and pick your head up. Straight up like, oh shit!
What car wash do you use?
You wash your car?
Yeah.
As my car gets run into as more breakfast stuff, it's like, fuck it, like take it. Car. It's just a drift car. Fuck this thing. $95. Pretty close to 93. 94. Close to it.
It's like Legos. You like Legos, right?
So now, we'll go weld this.
Beautiful. Beauty. And after that, what are we doing?
Screamer!
Kinda see the wastegate right there. There it is.
Doesn't snap anymore because I move it.
Oh,
Yeah.
way to break the Legos.
Mm.
All right, so here's how she sits right now. Pardon the disgusting looking crash bar, but I guess we'll start down there. So this car came with the Blitz intercooler on it, which is the return type so that you can use the factory piping. But since we're not going to be returning the charge pipes on the factory side anymore, we swapped that out, put the Greddy intercooler core on there. We'll be able to reuse some of the piping that it came with, but we'll have to fabricate our own. And just today, the Koyo radiator came in, and it looks really nice. It looks a little bit nicer than the Mishimoto that's on the other car. I still have to get the fan shroud for it, but it's nice to have this in finally. And this radiator, we're doing AN lines for radiator hoses rather than the silicone hoses. So we'll have to cut, weld a bung on. This is the lower one, and we went with AN 20s. So these things are just massive ANs, and but you know, going all out for this car, so that'll look really cool. And then PRP brackets there. We put the new timing belt on, went with the HKS because I am a big fan of HKS, if you haven't noticed by now. And the PRP bracket for the trigger kit, HKS cam gear, the PRP R35 coil kit, same one that's in the other car. And we're gonna take all of this stuff off, vapor blast it, so all of these things will look brand new. So it's still a work in progress. You can see I've cleaned a little bit up here, but have a lot more cleanup to do yet. But G30 770 turbo on this one with the Artec high response or fast response manifold, which is really nice. The other car has a 6 boost, and we had to trim the motor mount, and there was just not as much room in here for activities. But did this oil drain as an AN line, ANs all over the place, and downpipe is finished. You can kind of see the screamer pipe down there. Let's get a better view. There's the screamer pipe, the Turbo Smart wastegate up there, and then we took the this one has the Blitz front pipe, and we had to cut that and do some V-bands, so we used part of that, and then some fresh vibrant piping up here and the wide band. And then on this side, we're going to be doing the Plasma Man top half manifold, which is in that box over there. We'll get this bottom half all cleaned up, vapor honed, and then figure out all the vacuum lines and that kind of stuff. So we're eliminating a lot of things just as we did on the other car, but it's a very different setup than what was on the other car. So we'll have to kind of play around with some stuff. But she's coming together nicely. You know, the head is back on, obviously. We did the Tomei head gasket, ARP head studs, and stock cams. I know I've mentioned that before, but going with stock cams on this thing, looking good, looking good. So if you've been watching along, you'll know that on the other car, we took these valve covers and did a lot of fab work to them to make them kind of more like the RB26 setup. And we had some issues when it came to sandblasting and the powder coat and all that. We ended up having to redo them. We're still not happy with them, and we'll redo them again at some point. But on this car, I tracked down, thanks to Magic Garage Racing, a set of RB26, the valve covers, the valley cover, the timing cover. So this thing is getting all RB26 for the covers, and that'll look amazing. They're smoother, I mean, if you do a side-by-side comparison, there's a lot of differences just in the shaping. So had to get a new backing plate here to mount the timing cover. And then you have to cut a hole in it for the variable intake cam. So this will pop out just a little bit. And I don't know, we might make a little aluminum dome or something to cover it up. We might just leave it open. I'm not really sure just yet, but super excited for that. That'll be here hopefully this week. It's coming from the West Coast, so that'll be a lot of fun. We'll be able to get the covers reworked and get all of that powder coated, the strut tower ends, and she'll start looking pretty spicy. But kind of going for the old school, like late 90s HKS theme with the teals and the purple. And I won't tell you what color the engine covers will be, but you'll find out pretty soon. And yeah, really happy with how this thing's coming together. The head is healthy, flows well, good vacuum. Another thing we did on the head, can't really see it here, it was add the PRP drain kit. So it allows you to tap into Welsh plugs to do oil and coolant drainage, but we only used it for the oil. So that's what this AN line is back here. And that drains down into the block. It actually tees to the oil drain from the turbo. They tee right in front of the block and go in, so pretty smooth. Shout out to UP Garage, not Up Garage in Japan that takes all my money, but UP Garage in Washington State. He let me know that this 6 AN line for this oil drain is actually a little bit too small. So we will be building an 8 AN line for this oil drain here. So we'll find another use for those dash 6s elsewhere in the car. And let's see, what else is coming? All new heater line kit from PRP is on its way right now. And some stuff to build hard lines off the turbo here. And yeah, it's coming together really nicely. So excited. So as you can see, the 2-door's coming along nicely. Stagia is doing amazing. And the 4-door will be back very, very soon, hopefully next week. We'll see how everything goes, but yeah, lots to look forward to here. And you probably noticed Gary's car is gone, Tyler's car is gone. It's feeling a little empty in here because I've actually been keeping the Stagia at home. So Akio's been the Lone Ranger holding it down in here, but still have, you know, friends come over and fill this place up. But yeah, Tyler left a little bit of oil down there. Thanks, Tyler. But at any rate, yeah, excited to get the 4-door back and start driving. I want to thank all of you for tuning back in today. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. We'll see you on the next one.